Welcome to That Way, the podcast where you learn English through stories, interviews, and easy-to-follow language lessons. Me llamo David Palencia y seré el host de este episodio. Hoy entrevistamos en el podcast a una pareja de super teachers muy especial, Phillip e Isabel, del proyecto educativo Amigos Ingleses. Are you ready? Let's do this! Well, before we start, obviously, I'd like to thank you guys for taking the time because I know you're super busy people. And I really appreciate your taking the time and doing this and giving the interview. This is something that I was really looking forward to, I think more than the audience. So thank you, for being on the podcast.
It's an absolute pleasure.
Yeah, thank you for inviting us.
Yeah.
Okay, I think there is only maybe 1% of the population who might not know you because, at this point, you're quite popular. I mean, thousands of people follow you on social media and they know about your educational projects. But just in case there is still someone living in a cave, listening who doesn't know who you are, can you please introduce yourselves to the audience and your projects?
Yeah,
what do you call your listeners? That Way Tribe?
That Way Nation.
That Way Nation. So hello there, That Way Nation. We're Amigos Ingleses. We're Phillip and Isabel. And we're an English teacher and an English student. Not in that order, sorry. An English... Phillip and Isabel. An English teacher and an English student. And we teach English online to Spanish speakers from all over the world.
Yeah, we have a YouTube channel, our blog, and we also have a podcast, but that's kind of on pause at the moment. But I mean, that's us.
Okay, great. And can you share something that is, it could be something odd, something special, funny, whatever, something that most people don't know about you guys?
Yeah, this is, usually when you think about yourself, you think there's nothing really interesting about me, It's always better to ask another person.
Yeah.
So I think I'd like to say about Phillip, because I cannot really think of anything. But I would say Phillip, maybe many people don't know that he's got a middle name.
So what's that?
It's not an awful one, but what's your full name, Phillip?
I have a middle name. It is Philip Sidney Bartlett.
Sydney?
Yeah. Sydney.
But it's not spelled as the city, is it?
No, it's spelled Sidney. Yeah.
Okay, Sydney. Wow.
Not many people know that, but that's not such an interesting fact.
But there is another one that is much more interesting.
You've got two. Wow, this is getting better.
One is fine.
No. This one is pretty good. And they actually, That Way Nation can actually check it out because Phillip used to be the lead singer of a band in Cambridge.
No way.
That's a
and
good
he's
one.
really good.
For real?
You've been singing at Amigos Ingleses on some videos.
Yeah.
He's been doing some singing like countable nouns, uncountable nouns, na.
With the guitar, I remember. I saw a video.
Yeah. Not so hard to learn.
Yes, but I have to be honest, I haven't practiced in a long time.
He's really good.
I used to practice every day, but since...
Wow. How long were you in the band?
It must have been a couple of years, or 2 or 3 years in Cambridge. Then I started a little band here in Barcelona as well. But, just haven't had time lately to spend more time doing it.
It was called Yellow Green.
Yellow
you
Green.
want to check it out.
Yellow Green. Is that on Spotify or something?
It must be on YouTube.
Okay.
Maybe there is a video in a pub in England somewhere.
I'm checking it out now.
Don't search for that.
Yes, please do.
Okay, guys, make sure you... Wow, okay. Do you think, is there any chance that at the end of the podcast, you could sing a little bit? Or
No, I won't. Yes, of course. The guitar is in the other room.
I can hear the audience now, like, please.
Maybe. But Isabel, I'll play. Isabel has to sing.
Isabel
No way.
says.
No way.
You'll
No
have
way.
to sing. I'll play the guitar. You sing. That'll be fine.
Okay.
Okay, no, I won't put you on the spot. I was kidding, obviously. Okay, so that's good. That's two great facts about Philip. Philip, do you have an interesting fact that most people don't know about Isabel?
Let me
Oh,
think.
dear.
This is a tough question. What
Obviously,
can I tell
you
about Isabel?
don't have to give the details, or
I don't want to embarrass you, but Isabel, she's not the best driver in the world.
Dear.
all right.
And sorry to put you on the spot, Isabel, but Isabel failed her driving test 3 times. That's something nobody knows.
Okay, until now.
Sorry to...
That's okay. I know I'm like a granny.
I'm going to be in the
I'm a
doghouse
danger.
now.
I'm a danger on the road.
Okay.
Anything else? Philip?
Like,
The other thing I can tell you about Isabel is that she is a very talented drawer and illustrator, painter.
Oh, right.
She's very creative. She loves to paint and draw. And she's got lots of notebooks all around the house full of her illustrations.
that explains having art in the house and...
Yeah. So she's always been very, creative in that sense. She's a creative person.
Oh,
How's
okay.
that? Is that better?
That's a bit better.
Am I out of the doghouse?
Yeah. You're not in the doghouse anymore.
Okay.
I was going to say, Isabel, if it makes you feel better, I've got a really bad reputation myself as an awful driver. I'm awful.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm good at driving, but finding my way around is just it's not my thing. It's not my forte. So my friends always make fun of me, like, "Oh no, is David driving?" No. So
They don't want to get in your car.
No. But to be fair, Isabel did very well when she lived in the UK because she was driving a Spanish car
Oh, yes.
on English roads, and this is the hardest combination to deal with.
I think that's quite a challenge.
It's very, very challenging, because you can't overtake cars.
We used to live in the countryside, and sometimes I had, that you had a lorry with horses in front of you, and I had to stay there. I couldn't overtake them. It was too risky.
Or when
It
you
must
get to
be
the
hard.
junction, you can't see who is coming, because
That's true. Yeah, it's so...
Or in the roundabout, people were pointing at you like, "Look at that!" You were then driving like, "Yes, I'm driving."
But
on
the
wrong
worst thing is when you go into like a multi-story car park, and in order to get the ticket,
Oh yeah,
you have to get out the car and go around to the other side.
that was a bit like Mr. Bean style.
Yeah.
On this car.
Oh, I love Mr. Bean. Mr. Bean se va de vacaciones.
Funny.
That's my favorite.
Yeah. It was me in England with my car.
I'm picturing you driving, radio on, like super loud music, and you're just like, oh yeah, like no, and people like, "Beep,"
Yeah, I used to play flamenco actually. After a few years, I was like, oh my God, I'm really missing Spain, and I started listening to flamenco, and I posted really strange songs on Facebook, and all my friends was like, what's wrong with you?
Do you mean flamenco like El Cigala or Rosalía or?
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
You reminded me of Buzz Lightyear in story, is it Toy Story 3, when he goes full flamenco mode. Have you seen that?
I haven't watched.
I only saw the first film.
The first one only, yeah.
Okay. You need to check out the third one. Buzz Lightyear, he has a technical problem in the system. I mean, the toy system, whatever that is. And then he goes full flamenco mode because his system is rebooted. So he's like, "Bienvenido al estilo estelar." And it's so good. So much fun. All right. Okay, that's brilliant. Okay, the first thing that I wanted to talk about, obviously, let's start from the very beginning, is your story in the teaching world. For example, when and how did Amigos Ingleses, your project, start, or why did you decide to set it up, and why is the sentence "life's too short for boring lessons" your motto, so to speak?
So Amigos Ingleses started in 2012 from our attic in Cambridge, right? And we started recording some podcasts just because we were living in Cambridge and we were learning so much from each other's languages that we thought it'd be useful to share what we were learning. And also just, we consider ourselves to be quite creative people. We come from, that kind of creative, background. I've always been into making video and editing and, these kinds of things. And also I was working as an English teacher in Cambridge in quite a busy school in the centre of Cambridge. So it was just putting two and two together, really. And
I had just arrived in England. Well, we had been there for 2 years already, but obviously I had been